Shalom, everybody. How y'all doing? Put together me a new bookmark. Right quick before we read, welcome back to Rise in Scripture. We're going to get into, the history of the destruction of Baal and the dragon today for Rise in Scripts. I'm just trying to get my bookmark together. There you go. Now you can see the lines better. Seek. Seek and ye shall find. Seek. That's what we're going to do. We're going to seek. I need to do one that says search. I think I need one a different color, like a blue. All right. We can rock with that for right now. All right. Let's get it, man. Welcome back to Rise in Scripts, man. It's SHALOM. What's up? And we going to jump into the Apocrypha and keep moving along in the Apocrypha today. Keep moving along. I had to fix my bookmark. I had to fix me a bookmark. I think I already got a seek, but I'll take it. It'll work. It'll do. It'll do. Put it out. Bam! Bing, bop, boom, bop, bing, bop, bam. I'll give me 2 little extra long little things for my book. All right. We're in the Apocrypha this morning. We are in the Apocrypha this morning. Once again, we're back at it for Rise in Scripts. We're about to seek and find. My other bookmark broke. I broke my F. I broke my F. It was too thin. The bookmark was too thin. I gotta find a uniform size for these things. All right. What is it called? A tassel? All right, fix me a tassel on there, and I'm good to go. All right, we're in the Apocrypha this morning. We are in the Apocrypha for Rise in Scripts once again. The Apocrypha, the King James Version. But Bel and the history of Bel and the Dragon. It is cut off from the end of Daniel. And shalom, everybody. And it's only a page and a half. So it's not going to take us long to read this one. Some of them, when they be good, I wish they had a little bit more to it. Hey, just waking up. Late rise in the day, but roles still the same. And since I have breath to breathe, I have all that I need to succeed. So let me do forth and succeed in reading these Rise in Scripts. But before we get into the Rise in Scripts, before we get into the history of Baal and the Dragon, which is at the end of Daniel, another story of Daniel, just like the history of Susanna was the beginning of Daniel. It says history of Baal and the Dragon is cut off from the end of Daniel, the end of the book of Daniel. Shalom, everybody. Shalom, Squeaker, Martha. Mala. I gotta get it. Let's go through the books of the Bible. Let's go through the books of the Bible this morning, and then we'll get to reading. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, 1 Esdras, 2 Esdras, Tobit, Judith, the rest of Esther, the wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, Baruch, the song of the three holy children, the history of Susanna, the bell and the dragon, the prayer of Manassas, 1 Maccabees, 2 Maccabees, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians. Yeah, I got that thing. 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, and the Revelations. Man, I almost had them all. I had to look down twice. Especially around the Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians one. I had to look down twice. But hey, I had everything else. Hey, I'm moving along. I'm getting it back. The remembrance is coming back. Whatever book you follow, man, follow it. Read it. Get up, read it. Seek the Most High's face. Seek whatever your God face is. Seek it. Read it. Learn, do what you're supposed to do in your book. I'm reading out of my book. The Bible. The history of the destruction of Baal and the dragon. I'm pretty sure a lot of people probably haven't even heard this. I heard about this book. Or even heard about the Apocrypha. I know Israelites know. I think Catholic churches have the Apocryphal text as well. I know they don't speak on it in Baptist church or regular, whatever. The church I grew up in, they didn't have it. That's for sure. So the history of the destruction of Baal and the dragon was never spoken of, let alone them just reading through Daniel, or Ezra or any of them like that, or the history of Susanna. But let's get on with Baal and the dragon. We're going to seek and we're going to find the answers. That's what we're doing. The history of the destruction of Baal and the dragon. And King Astyages was gathered to his fathers, and Cyrus of Persia received his kingdom. And Daniel conversed with the king, and was honored above all his friends. Now, the Babylonians had an idol called Baal, and there were spent upon him every day 12 great measures of fine flour, and 40 sheep, and 6 vessels of wine. It was feeding that damn idol. And the king worshipped it, and went daily to adore it. But Daniel worshipped his own God. And the king said unto him, Why dost not thou worship Baal? Who answered and said, Because I may not worship idols made with hands, but the living God, who hath created the heaven and the earth, and had sovereignty over all flesh. Then said the king unto him, Thinkest thou not that Baal is a living God? Seest thou not how much he eateth and drinketh every day? Then Daniel smiled and said, O king, be not deceived, for this is but clay within and brass without, and did never eat or drink anything. Tell him, Daniel. So the king was wroth, and called for his priests, and said unto them, If ye tell me not Who this is that devoureth these expenses, ye shall die. But if ye can certify me that Baal devoureth them, then Daniel shall die. For he had spoken blasphemy against Baal. And Daniel said unto the king, let it be according to thy word. That boy Daniel, confident. Let it be. Now the priests of Baal were 70, and besides their wives and children. And the king went with Daniel into the temple of Baal. So Baal's priest said, lo, we go out, but thou, O king, set on the meat, and make ready the wine, and shut the door fast, and seal it with thine own signet. And tomorrow, when thou comest in, if thou findest not that Baal hath eaten up all, we will suffer death. Or else Daniel will speak it falsely against us. And they little regarded it, for under the table they had made a privy entrance, whereby they entered in continually, and consumed those things. So when they were gone forth, the king set meats before Baal. For Daniel had commanded his servants to bring ashes, and those they strewed throughout all the temple, in the presence of the king alone. And they went out, and shut the door, and sealed it with the king's signet, and so departed. They about to set the trap. That boy Daniel smart, yeah. I ain't gonna lie. That boy Daniel, Daniel cunning. Put the ashes everywhere. Hey, don't walk on them. You start from the table and spread the ashes, and you back up, spread the ashes out. So when they were gone forth, the king set meats before Baal. Now Daniel had commanded his servants to bring ashes, and those they strewed throughout all the temple in the presence of the king alone. And then went they out, and shut the door, and sealed it with the king's signet, and departed. Now in the night came the priests with their wives and children, as they were wont to do, and did eat and drink up all. I bet he was saying, hurry up, y'all, hurry, we gotta eat this, the king gonna kill us. Y'all hurry, eat everything, drink everything. And in the morning, betime the king arose, and Daniel with him. And the king said, Daniel, are the seals whole? And he said, yea, O king, they be whole. And as soon as he had opened the door, the king looked upon the table and cried with a loud voice, great art thou, O Baal, and with thee is no deceit at all. Then laughed Daniel and held the king that he should not go in, and said, behold now the pavement, and mark well whose footsteps are these. And the king said, I see the footsteps of men, women, and children. Ain't that a And then the king was angry and took the priests with their wives and children, who shewed him the privy doors where they came in, and consumed such things as were upon the table. And therefore the king slew them, and delivered Baal into Daniel's power, who destroyed him and his temple. And in that same place there was a great dragon, which they in Babylon worshipped. And the king said unto Daniel, wilt thou also say that this is of brass? Lo, he liveth, he eateth, and drinketh. Thou canst not say that he is no living God, and therefore worship him. Then said Daniel unto the king, I will worship the Lord my God, for he is the living God. But give me leave, O king, and I shall slay this dragon without sword or staff. And the king said, I give thee leave. Then Daniel took pitch and fat and hair, and did seethe them together, and made lumps thereof. And this he put in the dragon's mouth. Seethe means to boil. He boiled all that shit together. He made a casserole. A casserole of pitch and fat and hair. Mm-hmm. All that shit gonna burn. Mm-hmm. Woof. Some good survival fire starter. What they call it? You know, that's that when you light that.